Okay, the West Virginia locker room will be open until 2:20. We will go ahead and take questions for Kedrian Johnson and Eric Stevenson. Then we will dismiss them, and Coach Huggins will then take your questions.
Kedrian, start with you. Your view on the last shot. Scramble, I mean, there's probably not a play there. What did you want to do? Did you think it was online? It had a chance?
For sure, every shot I took today, I thought it had a chance of going in.
Right here, the front left.
Eric, what was Maryland doing today that gave you a lot of trouble shooting the ball?
Nothing that any other team hasn't done. I just struggled from the floor today. They did emphasize, just shading my side when they were running that little zone, and then they just did a great job of sending guys at me and not letting me get, those easy miscellaneous looks, and loose balls and offensive rebounds and, broken plays that, I usually thrive in. But they did a good job at finding me in those situations.
To the left.
Jared McDonald with the Charleston Gazette-Mail. Keedy, early in the second half, you had a string of, I believe, 10 straight points to help get you guys back into this thing.
Mm-hmm.
What did you see during that stretch that led to that success from you personally?
I saw opportunities. Most teams play my drive, so they was going under screen, so I just stepped back and shot the ball. And when I had the opportunity to drive, I took it to the basket, got fouled, and finished it.
Far right.
For both of you guys, I know it's just minutes, but the finality of this, we talked about a little bit yesterday. Has it hit you yet? And what's the emotion that it came to an end?
It definitely hit. Emotions are high right now, but at the end of the day, somebody got to win, somebody got to lose. And we was the team that lost today, so, it's in the past now. It's the past for a reason.
Yeah, it was over, you know what I mean? So, yeah, man, it's over. Yeah, I don't know what else to say, man. It's a different feeling. I can't thank this program enough. I can't thank Coach Huggins enough. I don't know what's next, but I'm just happy I got to finish it out here in West Virginia.
To the left.
Eric, kind of going off of that, this is a tournament that you've been aiming to reach throughout your entire career. What was it like being out there on the floor, finishing it off where you wanted to? Not necessarily right now, but, in the tournament.
Personally, didn't finish it off how I wanted to, but, as a team, we got to where I wanted to be. I'm just happy I got to end my career in the tournament, I guess.
Any more questions for the players? Gentlemen, you are dismissed. Okay, we'll now take questions for Coach Huggins. Please raise your hand and we'll get you a mic. We're going to start right here to the right.
So, you guys had a substantial early lead. Did you feel it could be even bigger? And how did they start to whittle away at that?
We were a little careless with the ball, and they made shots. They started backing us in. We didn't match up very well with them when they started matching us in, or backing us in rather. It wasn't a good matchup for us.
Here, then we'll go up front.
Jared McDonald with the Gazette-Mail. Not having Emmett for most of that second half, how much did that change what you guys wanted to do?
It hurts us. He's a 5-year guy that knows knows what we want done. He's our best perimeter defender. He gives us another guy on the glass who can keep balls alive and rebound it. And he makes open shots. I mean, that's a huge loss for us.
Up front.
16 offensive rebounds leading to 18 second chance points, excuse me. How big of a factor was that in your guys' game plan, and how big of a difference did it make for you guys today to be there till the end?
No, we spent a lot of time working on it. We're trying to score any way we could score.
Far right.
Bob, play off Jared's question a little bit. Not only was Emmett hurt in the second half, but Jimmy fouls out. James was in foul trouble. You don't have Mo, so how drastic was your depth up front? How big of a problem was that?
Well, our up front depth took a hit when we lost Mo for the year. He was our best shot blocker. So losing him hurt us. I got to be careful what I say, I guess, but I just leave it at that.
Here to your left.
Coach, I asked Keedy about it, but he had that stretch, 10 straight points to get you back in it early in the second half, finishes with 27. He's a guy that you've spoken very highly of throughout the course of the season. I was just wondering your thoughts on his performance today as a whole.
He was terrific. He was absolutely terrific. Without him, we wouldn't have been able to stay in the game. The last shot, it looked to me like it grazed the front of the rim. So, he's an inch away from winning a game for us. And it was dead on line. It was dead on line. It just missed by a few inches.
Back to your right.
So with that last shot, sort of a scramble. Do you have any kind of thing drawn up? Would you want anybody else to have taken it in that situation?
There were 4 seconds to go. I wanted him to get it on the run, which he did. Wanted him to get it on the run to where he could get as close as he could get without, it's 4 seconds. He can't look at the clock. He can't look at the clock and see how much time's left, and he shot it before the time expired, which was a great effort on his part. We missed by an inch. What are you going to do?
Back over here to your left.
Coach, probably too early for this question, but what do you think you're going to remember about this season and this group of guys?
Well, the reality is it took us a while to get them all together. We struggled early. We just didn't have the right chemistry. But I think we had a meeting to where fellas, you can't keep going this way. The talk is you want to play in the NCAA tournament. You're not going to be able to play in the NCAA tournament if we don't start winning games. And they did. They won games in the hardest league in America. You can look back. There's a lot of you coulda, shouldas. They just didn't fall our way.
Back right.
Also, might be a little early for this question, Coach, but just with your length of time in this business, have to ask, what have you thought about your future and how long do you want to keep doing this?
No, the only thing I've thought about in the last, month and a half was getting these guys to a point where they could come here. We had Eric, for instance, had never played in an NCAA tournament. You want to get those guys to an NCAA tournament and experience the NCAA tournament. I mean, unfortunately, ours isn't going to be very long, but at least he got to play in one. I don't know. It's like anything else, you know. You probably got people who enjoy reading what you write, and there's people who say, I wouldn't read a damn thing he writes. I got the same situation going on, you know. I got people who think I should stay on for quite a while, and there's people thinking I probably ought to pack it in and let some young kid come in and screw it up.
So with that said, when do you talk to the guys who can come back, especially the guys that are going to be fifth-year seniors next year, about the opportunity to come back?
I mean, in a way, we've already kind of talked about it. No, I mean, I think we let them kind of diffuse for a while, and then we'll sit down with everybody, not just those guys, but the guys that are have exhausted their eligibility, and we'll sit down and talk about what we did right and what we did wrong, and who's staying and who's going.
One more question? Okay, thank you, Coach.
Yep.